Hello everyone, my name is Ricky Rojas with the Lead Pup Training, and this is Are We the Right Trainer for You? And this is a question that we get, every day. Are you going to be the trainer that fits our needs? This is a client. And this is going to be a great video for me to explain, are we the right trainer? I like to explain what I do, and this is very important because we got to be the right fit for you. So we do use e-collars. Now people call it e-collars, but we use a pager. We say something called pager training. Now somebody else can be like, well, it's an e-collar, but we use the vibration to train the dog 99% of the time. So if you're not a big fan of any pager training or any e-collar training, then we might not be the right fit. But I like to really showcase how we train our dogs, and I like for our training to be communication. The way our training is, it's all about communication. So what we do is that we go ahead and we use something called the e-collar. Now, the electric collar. Now, when people call it the shock collar, that's actually the biggest misconception. Actually, the definition of a shock is that it's uncontrollable and it comes out of nowhere. What we actually use is called the tense unit. So they use it in physical therapy, and what it's used for is it's a tightener and releaser of the muscle. So like dogs come up to each other and they kind of play with each other, they nip each other, or mom comes and picks up the dog. It tightens and releases the muscle. Now some people go, well Ricky, I don't want to do that. That's why this video is for the people that like it or don't like it. Again, we're here to be 100% transparent. We're not here to say, well, maybe we'll use this. This is what we use. We got great results, we got happy dogs, and we got dogs that stop bad behaviors all the time. So again, but this is a tense unit, but we would like to utilize our vibration. Our vibration, you guys, 99% of the time. Well, why we use our vibration is like this. Let's say you call us and say, hey Ricky, my dog likes to jump on people. How do you correct that? Well, first of all, I don't just come directly and correct that behavior. I come in and teach the dog that when I press that pager, that means come back to me. So when I do it over and over, when the dog is going to jump on a person, I press my pager, the dog goes, oh, I should move away, and then I reward it. We teach the dog what the alternate communication is. So we're not just coming in and just directly going, no. We're coming in and going, no, come back to me, get rewarded. So what we're essentially doing is we want to create communication to the dog. We teach the dog 3 basic components, which is don't pull on my leash, come back to me, and lay down. By teaching these 3 basic components, we can teach the dog to stop doing any other bad behaviors. Because instead of just directly correcting the behavior, we tell the dog, no, don't do that, come back to me and do one of the 3 basic components. By doing this, you're literally teaching the dog that through my communication, I want you to stop something, but I also want you to do something else. Being more productive than the dog. Again, the dog's only doing bad behaviors because it literally thinks it should do that. The dog doesn't think it's actually being bad. He's actually going, well, when I jump on you, I get rewarded by getting pushed off. Or, the dog finally stops jumping you and sits and gets rewarded. But the dog goes, oh, when I jump and sit, I get rewarded. You want to clean up that misunderstanding of that. I want to teach the dog no, treat, but I want the dog to understand the no. Now, a great way to really be able to explain this to you guys is this. I'm going to have one of my trainers, and of course, you can be like, well, Ricky, that's one of your trainers. But no, what I wanted you to really understand is how we introduce the pager and how it's a great form of communication, but we got to teach the dog first what I want from it. So I'm going to have one of my trainers come out real quick, and I'm going to go ahead and handle the pager, and I'm going to show you guys how we introduce the pager to a dog. So Anna, do you mind coming here? Perfect. So what I would like for you to do is I would like for you to just hold the pager with that hand right there. And again, you can go ahead and hold it right there or however you want, okay? So the way we introduce the pager is like this. Now, the pager or e-collar or any tool is non-directional unless you guide the dog. So if I go no, that's a shock. Even if it was just a vibration. I want the dog to understand. Again, the shock is uncontrollable and comes out of nowhere. So instead of somebody coming and shaking your hand, they push you. That's a shock. If I go no, the dog's going to go, what is that? I don't want that. So what we're going to be doing first is we're going to be guiding the dog on what this pager means. So let me go and explain now. So do you mind if I put my hand on your wrist? My hand on the wrist. So this is me using the leash on the dog. So put my hand on the wrist, and the dog's going to be pulling. Let's say your dog's a pulley. pulls, pulls. Most people yank, yank. So what I'm doing here is that I'm pressing that pager. The dog goes, what is that? And I guide him back to me, and then I turn it off. I then give him $100. Of course, for humans it's $100, but for a dog it's a treat. Okay, so pager, how do we turn this off? Come back to me, a treat. So what I'm looking for is for the muscle memory to come back to me, treat. So we're gonna do it a few more times. Pager, how do we turn this off? Come back to me, $100. You're up to $300. That's dope. Pager, how do you turn this off? Come back to me, $100. Okay. Pager, how do you turn this off? Perfect, $100. So I'm looking for the muscle memory to understand how do I turn this off. So now that I felt it, pager, come back to me. The person, or let's say when we do it to the dog has an understanding how to turn off the pressure. So then I take the leash off, I press that pager, come back to me, $100. Yes, that's what I want. Now by doing this, we are teaching the dog or the human that when I press that pager, stop what you're doing and come back to me so I can give you information. By doing this, you're teaching the dog that when you feel that pressure, again, stop that, come back to me. Now let's pretend that I now need to correct the dog or the person from doing something, right? Now, what's your favorite food in the world? Let's say pizza. Pizza is your favorite food in the world. Okay, perfect. So I'm just gonna have you kind of move your hand back and get nice and comfortable. So this is the best pizza in the world, okay? Now I'm gonna have you take care of my house. We're just gonna use an example here. And again, this is how we do all training with us, is this. So I'm gonna have you take care of my house. And you're gonna be there for a whole month. And I'm gonna bring the best pizza in the world, the best pizza in the world. But you're not allowed to touch any. It's gonna go bad in a few days, probably in a day or two, but you're not allowed to touch any. Now, there's so much of it that I won't even know if you even grabbed any. What's the likelihood that you might grab some?
Very likely.
Okay, perfect. So this is the pizza. You're the person about to grab my pizza. Go ahead and try to grab my pizza. No, pager, good job. The body moved away. The dog goes, whoa. Okay, well, I know what that is. I mean, stop that. But why did that happen? Well, later I come in more and more and I teach the dog what the communication is. But I got what I wanted, so instead of just being at a correction, no, the person knew to move away. The dog then knows to move away. Now, that's a good 90% of what we do. The last 10% is the tense unit. Now, people call it the electric part of the collar. Thank you so much, Diana. I'm going to have you go ahead and take that right there. You can go ahead and take that. So, the last 10% is the tense unit. Now people again call it the electric part, and they go, that's the part where people get really stuck. Now, I'm not here to sell you guys, and I'm not here to push you to do something you don't want to do. But the tense unit, because we slowly move it up. Now, if you ever had physical therapy and they use electrical shock treatment on you guys, they don't start off at 100 and go, do you feel this? No, they slowly start low until you're barely going, what is that fly? What is that? And what you're doing there is you're teaching the dog that if you pay attention to the vibration, I give you a reward. But if you don't, I now start moving up the nick or the communication. Hey, pay attention, pay attention, pay attention. To where the dog finally goes, what? And you go, good job, come back to me so you can get rewarded. We're just basically teaching the dog this, that I'm talking and it's non-negotiable. The collar is a form of communication. The nick is just me keep calling and saying you need to pay attention to me. If it's done right, and we teach the dog the alternate behavior over and over, and the dog wants to do it, when we now use the tense unit, the e-collar part, the dog doesn't perceive it as a shock. He perceives it as, I need to come back to you as quick as possible so I can get rewarded now. Now, when I say, am I the right trainer for you? We give tons of praise, but we got to stop bad behaviors. But the dog has to understand the communication. Our main goal is to make happy dogs. But you can only make happy dogs by stopping bad behaviors and teaching them the right behaviors. This is going to make a much more successful dog. Again, you guys, I want a happy dog. I want a dog that wants to do the behaviors and be awesome at it. So then later, the dog wants to act for these behaviors. Hopefully you like this video, and hopefully we are the right trainer for you. If we're not, ask us questions. We'll be more than happy to answer them. You guys have a great day. It was my pleasure.